Today, we'll be looking at how Criminal Minds' evolution may have spoiled Voight's dark endgame. I mean, just imagine a show giving you spoilers on its own content, because that's exactly what happened in the third episode of Criminal Minds' evolution. In a recent dialogue seen on the show, it seems like it may have given away Elias Voigt's plan, the ultimate spoiler. When the behavioral analysis unit comes back to TV, it starts a whole new case. In contrast to their previous jobs, the profilers now have to deal with a whole group of serial killers led by the mysterious Voight.
How much blood came out before you decided to change your mind?
What? I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
From what we know, he's a tech expert who lives in Seattle and leads a double life as both a loving family man and a cold-blooded killer. As the BAU tries to catch him, Criminal Minds' evolution gives us more insight into him. And while it does that, the show also ends up hinting at his final plan in a subtle way. Voight is having a hard time keeping his life together after a series of setbacks, and his desire to kill is getting stronger. He talks to one of his followers, who is worried that the BAU is getting closer to them. He told them that he had a way out. By the time the FBI figured out what they were doing, the network would be down and so would he. This makes it seem like Voight's plan in the new season of the show is to kill himself at the end of the whole thing. This does fit with the rest of his plan, which tells his followers to kill themselves rather than get caught. And this might also tie in with what this show has been trying to do with Voight, which is to make him one of the worst unsubs. Now, the way that the original Criminal Minds show worked was that each episode was about finding one unsub, and so the entire episode would just concentrate on that one situation and that one villain. Because of this, there wasn't much time to figure out the reasons and methods. In Paramount's version of this police procedural, however, things are a bit different, since the whole season of Criminal Minds' evolution is about Voight and his group of serial killers. The show can really dig into his past and personality. This means that he's worse than the people who came before him. Seeing him live a pretty normal life with a loving family, and then learning that he has criminal tendencies is definitely very disturbing to watch. Concentrating on one villain allows us to understand how multiple layers exist for people who do bad things to other people. And so the real question becomes, does Voight potentially killing himself in the end tie in with his insanely evil storyline? Or does it make him look more like a coward? Well, there's a good enough reason why Voight dying is the only way to end Season 1, since his manifesto on the show says that he would rather die than get caught. It makes sense that he actually believes this, and doesn't force his subordinates to do the same. Aside from this though, he's committed a lot of murders and set up a network of serial killers, so being arrested and put in jail doesn't seem like enough punishment for everything he did. Only an insanely messed up person like him would want to go down on his own terms. Any way you look at it, he has a strong need to kill. So he might find a way to re-establish a network in prison, which will be another problem for the BAU. If Voight's ultimate goal is to kill himself, he may already have a plan for his last victim. It could be someone he's been mad at for a long time, like his rude neighbor. What we can hope for, though, is that the BAU will find him before he can do anything even mildly evil. And while we're on the topic of the BAU, there's some exciting news that has come our way. The showrunner, Erica Messer, says that the BAU jet will be back, and we expect it to make a return when the show comes back from its winter break. If you don't know already, this is a big part of the show's original CBS run. FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit is back on TV to go after master criminal Elias Voight and his network of unsubs all over the country. Even though it's been called the team's biggest case to date, the unit has to solve the case without SSA Matt Simmons and Spencer Reed, and under a lot of scrutiny from the FBI's higher-ups. Even worse, Deputy Director Bailey is secretly working against them because he won't give the BAU the money it needs. Messer has already said that Simmons and Reed's absence will be a part of Criminal Minds' evolution's ending.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop doing that. Stop being you.
I can't help it.
Yes, you can. You can. You think you know what's going on, but you don't.
Well, then explain it to me, JJ, because all I know is my friend is hurting, and when I see her in pain, I want to make it stop.
in spite of the fact that the BAU had to work without some of its best assets. Now, in a new interview with TV Insider, she says that the revival will bring back another important part of the original show. Messer confirms that the BAU will finally get their jet back after having to deal with Voight for weeks without their main way to get around. Maybe some of you think, it's just a jet, right? But no. You see, the BAU's jet is an important part of Criminal Minds. Fans who have been watching the show for a long time know how important the team's jet is to their work.
This boy was found 2 hours ago in the middle of nowhere. Technically, he was found outside of Crawford, Arizona. My point is, he has clearly been to super hell and escaped some sort of captivity.
Well, how do we know he wasn't just dropped off there?
Well, he has fresh cuts on the bottom of his feet from the local cactus fields, and that's away from any through roads, and his skin is wrapped around his ankles from chains.
Since they deal with problems all over the country, their jobs require them to get to and from their headquarters quickly. Over time, the show's tagline became "Wheels Up," which is a phrase that the BAU chief or their deputy usually says to set the time for takeoff. But the BAU jet has also become the setting for some of the show's quieter, more character-focused moments. It's where the team goes to relax after a stressful day, and it's also where they have some of their most personal one-on-one talks. Also, the time the BAU spends in the jet is a good way to pay attention to the personal stories of the profilers. In the original show's last episode, the BAU's longtime jet was destroyed. Before the show was over though, the FBI had already given them a new one. So it's interesting that it was taken away again right before the Paramount Plus revival. So if you see a fellow fan freaking out about the fact that the jet is coming back, you'll know why. And it seems like the jet isn't just coming for a mere old appearance. Instead, the infamous jet is here to stay. In any case, a behind-the-scenes video has shown that the BAU's jet will be a part of Criminal Minds' evolution for a long time. Messer and her team seem to want to make a big deal out of its return, so it will only show up at the end of Season 1, even though Criminal Minds Evolution Season 2 has not been given the official go-ahead just yet. It's safe to say that the police procedural will be back for more on the streaming service. By then, the BAU will have gotten their jet back, so it could be used in more episodes of the show in the future. But hopefully the plane won't be the only thing that's fully back by then. Fans, and even Matthew Gray Gubler's co-stars, are all hopeful that he will be back as Reed in the revival. And that's it for how Criminal Minds Evolution may have spoiled Voight's dark endgame. Hope you had fun, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.